All right, Real Sports Fan Podcast back for another episode. Man, coming to you. We're gonna call this the MVP discussion, the MVP debate. Got my boy back in the building. You might know him as D Skinner. He's the actually since you've seen him last time he's been on the show, because obviously he's been on many seasons. Season 2, he held it down. Me, him, and Bryce. Season 3, came on with a one-on-one, but assistant JV coach, Eastern High, head coach, fourth quarter grind, AAU. Shout out to them with the fish fry as well.
Yes, sir.
Seemed like it was a great turnout. Fish was very delicious, as the wife stated.
I
So man,
appreciate it.
D Skinner in the building. What's good, D?
Oh man, not much, man. Thanks for having me, man. Let's go ahead and get into this obvious conversation. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, man. Appreciate you having me on, bro.
no doubt, man. We were wanting to put it on wax for a while. There was a Facebook post that D had shared and commented on it. We're gonna get into about Giannis versus Jokic as far as the MVP this year in the NBA. So we're gonna get into that. But before we do, Skinner is one of the more sensible Ravens fans out there. He keeps it real, with his team. So I've got to get his thoughts on Lamar and the Ravens, whether you keep him, whether you let him go. I understand, there's a non-exclusive tag you can do. Talk to me just
hmm
a little bit. I know those dates. I think it's coming up this week as far as decisions need to be made. Give me your thoughts on Lamar and the Ravens.
Yeah. So what they can do is they got two options. They can either exclusive tag them or non-exclusive tag them. But the non-exclusive tag allows them to be able to negotiate with other teams to negotiate and try to sign them to a contract,
Mm-hmm.
and the Ravens have the opportunity to match it.
Mm-hmm.
If they decide to match it or decide to not match it, then they get 2 first-round draft picks.
Okay.
Um, I don't personally I don't like that option because I think he's worth way more than 2
Way more.
first-round draft picks from what
Way
we've
more.
seen from other quarterbacks. Um, I think they should exclusively sign him, and then either we work out a deal before the draft or you trade him before the draft. I'm not one of those emotional Ravens fans that, oh no, you trade Lamar. Listen, this is a business.
Right.
At the end of the day, I love me some Lamar Jackson, but
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't think any one with a salary cap involved, any one person is worth $50 million annually because
Right.
it's going to handicap us from doing anything else. Now, if we can get you, at a good number of, I mean, and Lamar is a business. Like, I don't fault Lamar one iota like a lot of these
Right.
people are doing because he's a businessman.
Right. It's business.
If you think you are worth a particular amount of money, regardless of what anybody else thinks, all you need is one company to agree with you, and you're going to get what you deserve, what
Right.
you think you deserve. So he's
Right.
going to get the most of what he thinks he deserves, and somebody give it to him, more power to him.
Right.
But the
Right.
Ravens, from a Ravens perspective, I don't 2 first-round draft picks from a team like Miami, or they're going to be the back of the draft. Like, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
So if I'm the Ravens, I'm trying to trade them to the Falcons. I'm trying to trade them to the Texans. Somebody with some top 10 picks that we can rebuild real fast with. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about trying to re-sign them before the draft if we can. If not, man, let trade them and recoup a king's ransom, and then let's build from there.
So let me ask you this about that Real Sports Fan Podcast with D Skinner talking about Lamar Jackson. Let me ask you two things. One, obviously, the number he wants obviously is based off of the Deshaun Watson contract, which is, Browns messed that up. I mean,
Yeah,
they threw it off, but obviously he should be getting more than Kyler Murray's of the world, and those guys that just got Russell Wilson even of the world. But I understand, with the Deshaun Watson contract, it's kind of tilted everything. My question is to you, because you've been one of the ones that I remember me and you had a Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson debate a couple years ago about if you plug Kyler in compared to Lamar. I don't know if you remember that. But I guess my question is, if y'all let Lamar go or trade him or whatever happens, are y'all? I mean, I know. Obviously, rebuilding. Are you saying is Huntley the guy? Do y'all try to go get another quarterback? Like, how does that work? Because Lamar is the offense for y'all.
yeah. What will happen is they would go get a guy. The Ravens, for some reason, have a real good relationship with a guy like Baker Mayfield. They would
Mm-hmm.
go get a guy like that for like a bridge a gap. And if they were to trade Lamar, like I said, hopefully it's one of them top 10 picks. You go get a guy like Richardson from Florida or
Yeah,
Stroud from Ohio State.
true, true.
Somebody like that, let him sit for a year behind like a Baker Mayfield or one of them other journeyman for a year. Um, because with the amount of salary cap we would have, Ravens have like the eighth most salary cap space in the NFL before you sign Lamar Jackson. So
Mm,
it's not like they would have no wiggle room to add talent to that offense. And
mm,
I 100% agree with you. Over the last 5 years, the Ravens have spent the least amount of money on offense.
yeah,
Yet
yeah,
we've Lamar's record is like, I don't know, it's a crazy record. Like
yeah,
he's won a
yeah.
lot of games, and
Right.
he's averaged 28 points a game.
Yeah.
28 points a game, which is like second in the NFL since he's been a starting quarterback.
Right. Right.
Like that's crazy. He's earned his money. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, at the end of the day, but all you can do is go get a stopgap, somebody like a Baker Mayfield. Hopefully, you draft one of them studs with a top 10 pick and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay. All right. Yeah, man. I appreciate that, man. I always
What do
like
you
you
think they
said,
should do?
I think you should sign him. I mean, I know, but again, I'm not into it. I'm not into it as deep as y'all, as you and some of the fans, as far as like, because you make sense. I mean, I can't. Everything you said makes sense from a business perspective. If I'm the Ravens organization, I'm looking at this as like Lamar's is so awesome, like this paying. But I get it. You know, you don't want to give all the money to him, then you'll have nothing left for the team as
Everything.
a whole.
Right.
So I know. I see what you mean with that. So.
Two-way street. Either way,
Yeah.
I just hope they come up with a resolution before the draft. Put it like that.
Yeah. Do it before the draft. Do it before the draft. And I mean, obviously, there's some QBs out there this year. Next year, I heard some studs coming next year. So even if you got that stopgap quarterback, like you said, this year, and then next year you go to draft somebody, if, depending on where you at. But uh, I'm a Colts fan. Obviously, my attention has been on Bryce Young. And his.
Do you want him?
Bro, I mean, let me ask you. You the football guy. I mean, I know people are talking about his size and they're trying to compare him. Only really you can compare him to really is a Breeze
Or
and
Collar? He's like
a
the same size as Collar too.
and those type of guys. But bro, I'm a guy that year by year we've been doing this filling the gap quarterback, and it's not working. So
Right.
we need to go young. We probably should have done it a couple of years ago. What do you feel? Do you think he's the right move, or do you think that he might not translate to the NFL?
I think his skill set transfer. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I guess I'm a little more traditional when it comes to quarterbacks. His
Mhm.
size does scare me a little bit.
Yeah. Mhm.
Uh, that he's like a slim. Like Collar's a little thicker.
Yeah, Kyler is thick. He is slim. Yeah.
He look like
Yeah.
one Joey Bosa hit away from it being
Yeah.
a wrap. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. He got skill. He got a hell of a skill set. Like I like again, and it's also hard to judge Alabama quarterbacks
Right.
because
It is. It is.
none of them are
They've come
really
on lately, but historically they've been bad. But they come on lately with Hurts and Tua when
right.
he's healthy and Mac Jones. But yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just talking about as far as the amount of talent that he has around him.
Oh yeah,
Like,
true, true.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's hard to really judge Alabama quarterback or
Mhm.
Georgia quarterback because I mean he
Mhm.
played with the best talent, so he
Yeah.
looks good from what I see. Playing against these teams where he has
Mhm.
15 5-star recruits around him, right?
Yeah.
But I just would look at his size. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be
Or
my number
hey, I
one pick.
mean, or like you said, I mean, I think, or if you can't get him, what is it? Is this the Stroud kid? CJ Stroud from what is
Oh
he?
man,
Ohio
that's
State.
the guy I want. I think
Yeah,
he the real deal.
yeah. So
He can do everything.
yeah. Either way, we got to get we got to draft one. Either way,
Y'all number one, right?
we're number 4, but they're talking about trading up to one
Oh,
because
Chicago.
Chicago's got one, and
Right.
obviously they don't need a quarterback with Justin Fields.
Nah, they better not.
Nah, not at all. So. But cool. All right, man. What we've been waiting on, man. Like I said, me and this man here, I seen a Facebook post that that Skinner shared and commented on. And there's a couple of things with this post, and we're gonna get into it. And I'm gonna let Skinner go, and then but there's a couple of things, and I think Skinner might have added on to a little bit more than he can chew. And this is why I say this. I think that Nikola Jokic is the MVP of the league this year. I think that I know you think Giannis is. Giannis averaging 31, 12, and 5, shooting crazy percentage. Team in the East with their half game up on Boston on the East, something like that.
Yeah,
Having a great year. He's won,
better record than ever. Yeah.
yeah, he's won back-to-back MVPs before, all that. But I think this, and I'm gonna let you go. And that's a couple of things I want to dive into about your post because there's actually a couple of different things. There's a comment you had, but there's also what you shared, which as me, we need to be careful what we share because I don't know if you actually read all that you shared with that, but we're gonna get into that. But let me say this, because I had the same conversation with Porky and some other people when I asked him this, maybe even Felix. I think that a lot of people have a problem, even in the league. I mean, look, Jokic was drafted. Well, he was picked in the All-Star game second to last. I think people have a problem with Jokic getting MVP. One, a third straight time, because the last person that did that was Larry Bird, and people don't want to put him in that category of Bird. Not saying he has to be, but he won 3 straight. That's the last person that did that. Two, I think that we're going too much off of last year. What I mean by that is, I'll be the first to admit he shouldn't have won last year. I would have given
Yep.
it to Joel Embiid last year. Okay.
Yep.
But just because he didn't win it last year doesn't mean I can't give it to that man this year because of that. And the only reason I say it, because that's when I talk to people, that's what they're saying. Well, he should have won it last year. We can't go off that. I know he shouldn't have. And it makes me mad sometimes in a way, because I really don't like the fact that he'll have 3 straight MVPs, because I don't think Jokic has been my guy, right? But I just don't think really any player deserves 3 straight MVPs. I'm gonna be honest with you. Not with a talent in the league. But he's having that great of a year this year, and he had to do something astronomically great this year to even be in the category of getting a third, because the writers are not going to give you 3 straight because of the fact you just got back to back. So give me your pitch here with why you say Giannis, or what you have against Nikola.
So I have nothing. Let me start off. I have nothing against Jokic at all. Nothing. I just think we moved the mark so much for this MVP conversation that I'm still a little bit confused as to what exactly qualifies you to be MVP. Because all I hear about from the media, which is why I'm careful how much TV I watch and how many podcasts I listen to and all that, because all I hear about is these triple doubles. When Westbrook did it the 1 year, okay, everybody was on it. After that, it's like, oh, he's just padding his stats. He's just doing that. I mean, Westbrook, 4 years of averaging a triple double. Now all of a sudden, this conversation is relevant again. Now that Jokic's averaging a triple double. When you look at the entire picture of basketball, like I don't watch a lot of highlights. I don't watch a lot of. I don't listen to a lot of people talk about basketball, because I think that distorts my view and how I see the game.
Right.
When I watch basketball, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best basketball player in the NBA on the offensive side and the defensive side when you combine the two. I did look up some stats to back up my argument. I know with my eyes see that you still got to make your case. Guys are shooting 41% against him when they're guarding him 1-on-1. That's the lowest in the league for somebody with I think it said like at least 500 1-on-1 defensive possessions.
Mm-hmm.
They have the least highest field goal percentage when guarding against him. Mm-hmm. So he's literally dominating on the defensive end, and he's averaging 31, 12, and 5. Mm-hmm. His number 2 man, Middleton, he's been hurt all year. He's still hurt. I mean, he's working his way back into the game, but he's giving us like 20 minutes a game, maybe 15, 20 minutes a game consistently. He's nowhere near where he's supposed to be. And Giannis has missed some games too, which is the only reason why I think I even told you this. I would potentially say, like, okay, Jokic deserves it, strictly because of the number of games missed. That guy is durable as hell.
You know what? I want you to keep going, but you know what? I'll take that games plays thing away, because I looked it up today, and maybe I'm wrong, but I only seen a 5-game difference from Giannis and Jokic. So honestly, I don't think games missed should deter someone from voting for Giannis. So I'm good with that.
Is it only 5?
I think it's only 5.
Huh.
I think it's 56-51. I might be wrong. I was trying to find it. I might be wrong, but while you looking, I'll look again. I might be wrong.
Okay. But anyway, like I was saying, he has the number one seed in the East. Mm-hmm. Better record than Denver right now. Again, his number 2 man has been down since pretty much all season. He's trying to work his way back, but he's not there yet. On the defensive side, he's number 1 in defensive rebounds in the NBA. Number 4 in overall defensive rating. Number 6 in defensive box. He might win Defensive Player of the Year this year, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about that. Mm-hmm. Like, he legitimately impacts the game on both sides of the court, not just on offense. What else? What else I got here? Yeah, he's 4th in the league in scoring. He's like 75th in minutes played in the NBA. 4th in the league in scoring. When he's on the court, his minutes are impactful. Ain't no stat. You can't say he's out there stat padding. Everything he does contributes to a 16-game winning streak before they just lost to the Sixers the other night, which they
Right.
blew crazy, like 16-point lead, something crazy like that. But I watched that game too. It was a great game.
Yeah, it's only 5 games. Jokic just played 56. Giannis played 51 this year.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
Well, then I'll take it back. Then G is the damn MVP. Then I take that.
Mhm.
Now I'm really talking. Yeah, but since Christmas, I mean, I looked at this up. Since Christmas, I think we've crowned Jokic too fast and hasn't looked at the body of work of Giannis. This man has over 690 points. He scored more points than he's played minutes since Christmas break on
Mhm.
a 16-game winning streak.
Mhm.
What is it? What exactly qualifies someone to be the most valuable player? If you're the best defensive player in the NBA, you're averaging what you average. Your team is the number one team in the NBA record wise. Who's more valuable than that, other than you bringing up or someone bringing up individual stats? Okay, he's averaging a triple double. He's shooting at high field goal percentage. Okay, but you know what's going to happen? I know the playoffs don't matter. I get this is a regular season award. We've discussed this. We've established this. They're going to cook Denver's ass in the playoffs. Denver's going to get cooked because Joker is a liability on defense.
Mhm.
Let's be
He
honest.
he is. He
Put
is.
him in that pick and roll, and
Mhm.
some guard is going to get busy with him all series long. And then we're going to and that's another thing. You talked about this. Y'all are not holding, and this is me kind of sidebarring a little
Mhm.
bit. Y'all
Mhm.
don't hold him to the same standard as you and other people have held Giannis over the years. The Kevin Durant's, the LeBron Jameses, the Giannis Antetokounmpos, y'all have not held him to the same standard for dominating the regular season and not showing up when it matters most. I'm
I'm just
gonna
writing my
pause
notes.
there. Let
I'm
you
just writing
rebuttal.
my notes. Don't worry, I'm writing my notes.
Yeah,
I'm
bring
ready
it
for
back.
you.
Bring it back.
Okay, so let me
We
let
need
me go
to
down
get
this
on
list
there.
real quick. Let me let me go down this list. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Skinner. Let me ask you a
Yes, sir.
question. I think I heard you say it, but I want to hear it again from you. Is because first of all, there is no criteria for the MVP. Let me throw that out there. You're right. There should be a criteria. A lot
Which
of
is
these writers are going off of narratives. That's why Westbrook won that 1 year. That's why a lot of people won it. You know, that's why Harden only has one MVP because of narratives. That's why Kobe only had one MVP. Actually, Durant only has one MVP. Come think of it, it is a lot about narratives. But let me ask you this: is Giannis the best player in the league?
absolutely.
Okay, all right. I love the absolutely word, and I hope Doug Cephas is going to watch this too because a lot of times y'all kick back with that Durant
No, so
and
no,
Giannis.
you confuse my favorite player in the league with who's the best player in the league.
Okay, okay. I'm just saying. I've asked you that before, my brother. That's all I'm
I've
saying.
said
Okay,
that.
okay. So Giannis is about. I'm just checking that. Okay. Now the triple double factor, I think, is something that no disrespect, but you're making bigger than what it is. I don't think the fact that he's averaging triple double has anything to do with him winning MVP. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me say why. The Westbrook thing some years ago when he first did it, no one was doing it, and first since Oscar the average, totally. But now you can look historically, people are getting triple doubles now left and right. So many different people. Either scoring's up, triple doubles up because of the way it's played now. With Jokic, the reason why he's got the MVP, why I think he's MVP is, yeah, he's averaging triple double, but as a center, this man is running the offense, averaging 10 assists a game as a center, fourth in the league. He's averaging 24 and a half points. I think about 11 or so rebounds a game. And yes, I said even before this year, the only way that he could get MVP is he had to do something historic, like he's doing with the assists, and yeah, if you want to say he's averaging triple double, but even though I think you said Milwaukee has a better record than the Nuggets. The Nuggets are the best team in the Western Conference. They've
Oh,
never been the best team in the Western Conference. So the fact that he has that team number one in the West, along with everything else, I think that factors in because last year they gave it to him, which I didn't agree with last year. They went off, well, he didn't have Murray. He didn't have what's the boy named Porter? What's the boy named Michael Porter? Him. He didn't have him. But they were a 6 seed. Oh, so that's why I don't think he deserved it last year because then the MVP used to always be about winning, being great and winning.
yeah.
I think they kind of took from that last year. I will say this. I think if Durant didn't get hurt this year, maybe that didn't help with Brooklyn. I
He
think
would have
he
won.
would be more of a candidate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think Tatum as well kind of fell back from it as well. My next point. Now I know me and you went back and forth about some years with my boy Chris Middleton, but Chris Middleton is not the number 2 guy there this year. So that point you made about him being hurt all this time, Yes, and this is a sidebar. They need him healthy to win a championship. They are my pick to come out of the East. That's another podcast. But that the point that you're making that he has number 2 guy, I don't want to hear that because the number 2 guy is Drew Holiday, and that's
Why
why
is
he's
he
an all-star
the
this year. He's an all-star this year.
why is he the number 2 guy? Because Middleton's been hurt.
Did Drew Holiday make the all-star team?
Okay, he made the All-Star team in the East.
Did
What
did,
else?
it, did,
Which
did
honor
the Nuggets
bull
did the
crap. That's
Nuggets have an all-star
who?
other than Jokic?
Say again.
The Nuggets didn't have another all-star.
No,
Okay.
I don't think an All-Star should quantify you as in this conversation though. Like
Oh
he
no,
made
I agree. I'm just making a point as far as the Middleton factor, like him not having Middleton. He don't need Middleton because Drew Holiday stepped up from the number 3 option to number 2 option, and he's a two-way player. So I think that I don't think the Middleton factor really matters to me. And then I love that you said the last point. So let's go into the not holding Jokic accountable. I know this is a sidebar.
Oh yeah.
So and I'm glad you said that. So your original post, whoever you shared it and what they were saying is one. Actually, before I get to that, I'm sorry. The defensive metrics you put up, the stuff you were saying about defense, I can't dispute none of that. But guess what? As you said it. Instead of talking about Jaren Jackson, give the Defense Player of the Year award to Giannis. This is the MVP. I've never heard so much defensive talk in the MVP as I had recently. Allen Iverson, the list goes on of MVPs in the past.
So,
Even
who was
LeBron
MVP?
was winning.
Award?
I've never heard people talk about defense with the MVP.
I thought MVP was the most valuable player in the NBA.
It is. It is.
So again, but we're arguing points of we're arguing something that we don't even know what the criteria is.
I agree. And I'm just saying for me, all those metrics on that for defense, for me with the MVP is to
offense.
me. I'm not saying it's not important. What you say?
Your MVP is offense.
No, I'm not gonna say my MVP is offense. I'm just saying over the years, as I look back, I don't know any time they really factored in defense like I hear them talking about now.
And Michael Jordan won the MVP in the defense. No, he didn't win defense player of the
year. But he did win it. I'm just saying I've never heard so many people talk about defense and and that's neither here nor there. But that's just the point I made. But let me say this about the post, because to a point you're right about the not holding people accountable. Let me say this about Jokic. You're 1,000% right. If he gets the MVP this year, and he doesn't at least get, I say, to the finals, forget even the conference finals. He don't get to the finals, people definitely got to start holding him accountable. And trust me, he'll never win another MVP. You're right. The Kevin Durant's of the world, the LeBron James of the world, the Giannis, all that. Even though Giannis was still kind of young, but they still put the pressure on him. You're right. I know you said me. I didn't. I don't know why y'all think Giannis. I don't know why y'all think about Giannis. I was with Giannis when Jason Kidd had him running point guard with Jabari Parker there. You know what I'm saying? 2K like 16, something like that. Whatever that was, 15. But I do see what you mean though, as far as that is separate, but we do got to hold him accountable if he doesn't get there. Now, what this man was saying here in the post, let me go back to it. Here we go. Here it is. It said that if Jokic wins his third straight MVP while never being the best or second best player in the league is insane. That has nothing to do with it. Again,
no.
Yeah, he never seen a finals, only one kind of finals and lost 4-1. Like you said, nothing to do with it. Analytics moved the voters this much, question mark. Giannis is more deserving of MVP right now, maybe. Jokic really doesn't get held to win now standards of people who have won multiple MVP awards, or this with LeBron, MJ, Curry. And again, I agree with that part. But again, we can't put it together. It's separate. MVP, like you said, it's a regular season award. It's not a postseason award.
Right, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. I think at that point I was just lumping. Mm-hmm. I was kind of like we just did, like I just did here. I just kind of lumped my two frustrations together.
Right.
One, what exactly is the mark of an MVP, and why are we not holding Joker accountable for not coming up big in the postseason? That's just a separate conversation. But the bigger overall point is, we don't know what MVP means in NBA. We have no idea.
Right.
Because if it's about the total game and who is the most valuable player in the NBA, it can't just be an offensive award. And I'm not saying defense has to control it either, because that's what they got a defensive player of the year for. That's what that award is for. But it has to factor in. It has to be some part of it. And what this man is doing on the defensive side of the court, while averaging 31, 12, and 5, and he has the number one record in the NBA, is only 5 games difference. You just told me that. I didn't know that. It
Right.
felt like it's been more.
Yeah, it does. It did feel like it. Yeah, it did.
To me, though, when you put all the ingredients in the pie and bake it, it tells me that Giannis is the MVP because he's impacting the court on both sides. He's been okay. Let's say his number 3 option, whatever, Middleton. He's been missing one of his best players all season, pretty
True.
much. Um, his numbers are astronomical. Like I say, he's 75th in minutes played and 4th in scoring. If it's offense that we're looking for, he averages more rebounds. He's averages more points. I don't understand what else he needs to do. And again, it's a media driven thing because when I turn the TV on, when I do watch it, which I try really not to watch a lot of it, all I hear about is these damn triple doubles. Like I don't care. We've seen somebody do this 4 times already.
I think you might have seen that once. And once, I ain't gonna say once, I can't say that.
Today.
I think you might have seen it a couple of times and that factored in. But honestly, that hasn't been what I've seen, because I am a person who I watch. I've been home obviously for a few weeks, so yeah, I'm a person that watched NBA Today at 3 o'clock and First Take and stuff. And I didn't see the triple double narrative. I just seen Jokic. Obviously, he's averaging triple double, so they're talking about it. But really, man, the average 10 assists as a center, and this is kind of how I look at the MVP. But you're right, there is no criteria, but this is kind of how I look at it. If we take these guys off of those teams, right, especially you go back to those LeBron teams and the Curry teams and stuff like that, how good are these teams? And I would say this year, if you were to take Jokic off and you took Giannis off, because I've seen the Bucks play without Giannis again. Not saying they can win the championship, just saying regular season. With Drew Holiday still spearheading that team, they still been able to win games. They just came off a 15-game win streak before losing the other night, and Giannis missed a couple of those games. Jokic, you take him off, the team looks a lot different.
Well, so are you saying, so in that same sentence, you think Drew Holiday could carry them for an extended period of time to like maintain where they are?
You mean in regular season?
Yeah.
I think he can carry them for maybe like with what's around him, maybe like a 10-game stretch, but not, I can't say an extended period like 20, 25 games. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I don't know. I mean, I think Michael Porter is a legitimate basketball player.
He's very good. Very good ball player. Yeah, very good. He can shoot, but he's not. And again, that's why they gave him MVP last year. And that's why I don't agree with that, because it is like, y'all gave it to him last year because he was missing 2 guys. No, he's got those 2 guys back, but you still giving it to him because of his record. So I get that argument. And that's the thing. Like, I'll try to block out because at first, and again, I'm a Jokic guy, but I didn't want him to get it again because I'm like, he shouldn't have got it last year. Like, Embiid really should have had one of these MVPs. It kind of makes me mad because I feel like he's never going to get one now. But I can't base him getting it last year to not getting it to him this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. You have to be objective, right? Yeah. You can't say, well, because like you said, what happened last year, the year before, it should impact us this year. I'm not even speaking on last year. I'm looking at right now at the total picture of what an MVP in my eyes. And so they the criteria out a little bit better for us. Like I said, this is all opinionated.
Right.
My mind, when I look at the MVP and the total picture of it, both sides of the court, team record, or team success, individual stats. To me, it's obvious who's having a better year. Now, is Jokic having a heck of a year? Absolutely. The guy don't need to be his size and not miss time. Look how many big guys we see. For real, Embiid's hurt right now. He's just playing through it.
Yeah, playing through it again.
I watched him last night. He came on, went to the locker room.
Yeah. Jokic don't even finish all the games either, though, man. Jokic sometimes he getting
third quarter
in the first half. Yeah.
That's a good point. I will, but you know what? That's the same thing you say about G. 75th in minutes.
True.
It's not like he's, top 10 in minutes played in the NBA, and he's still averaging 31, 12, and 5. So both of them do their work early.
Tougher conference. Is the West still the tougher conference?
I think since that trade deadline, I think you probably got to say that.
But at the top, though, you probably would say that at the top, Milwaukee, Boston, and even you could maybe throw Philly. Just as far as trying to go at them, the East is probably at the top, maybe a little better, but depth wise, and I don't even know if you can say that now, though. You're right, because man,
like you said,
Yeah.
3 in the East now. And
Anytime you're right. Anytime, man, you got right now the Clippers in the AC,
yeah, that's crazy.
Dallas in the 7th seed.
I mean, I'm be honest with you. If the playoffs started tomorrow, I'm not saying I wouldn't pick the Clippers over Nuggets in the playoff
Mhm.
series with everybody
Yeah.
healthy.
Oh, I agree with you on that. Yeah, I actually, honestly, I probably would myself too. I probably pick. That's the thing. Like, I probably, honestly, even and they lucky that well, Lakers won today and they're on a half game from what you call, but if they can even get it going, like even Lakers and Denver play first round, or Lakers or Denver Clippers, I'm with you. I
Yeah,
probably pick both of them teams, and I can't believe I'm saying that about the Lakers. Is man, the way they play sometimes before this trade, it
yeah,
blows my mind.
disgusting.
But I agree with you on that. I mean, that's why I said it is really separate. Um, so but again, I'm not mad at the Giannis thing because again, I like Giannis, man. I do. That would be a third MVP if he gets it. I'm not saying he's not deserving, but I do think maybe slightly that Jokic is. I mean, they both got 45 wins. It's still a lot of time left, so anything could happen though. You know.
Yeah, let me go ahead and correct that. I was saying, well, they got a half a game lead
Well,
now.
yeah, it's a half game though.
Sixers,
Yeah, Milwaukee got less losses.
yeah,
So
the Sixers have beat them the other night to kind
yeah,
of bring that
yeah.
closer. But
Yeah. So
uh,
like you said, it's opinionated. I don't think it's wrong. Jokic or Giannis to me, but it's just it's crazy though. As we talk about Jokic and Giannis, and that's why I say it's too bad with Embiid because Embiid's having an awesome year. You could say that he's already had a better year than last year, and we're not even talking about him.
we have some 33 and like 10 or something crazy
Yeah,
like.
man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. The
Again,
guy.
I don't understand what the criteria is.
Yeah, yeah,
This one person can win the award, though. I guess.
yeah. I mean, Embiid as a center might lead the league in scoring. I mean, it's crazy.
I wish
30.
Shaq.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
It's
know
crazy.
Shaq 1 year.
Shot, yeah, y'all shot did 1 year. Yeah,
I,
33 and 10.
I,
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Before I get you off of here. I'm supposed to be doing a podcast with Sam at some point. I posed a question to him, and I'm gonna pose the same question to you as a Durant guy. And I got to do some research. I posted Ben did it, but I think right now everybody's probably got KD, and I know this off the top of your head. I'm putting you on the spot. I know we didn't talk about this, but probably I've seen ranges anywhere between 13 to 15. Actually, I've seen some 11 to 15 all time KD right now. So my question to you is: one, does KD need to win another championship? Two, if he does win another championship, does it move him up any on the all-time list?
um, great questions. Does he have to win another championship? I would
Mhm,
say not for me. For my money, if he never dribbled another basketball game,
mhm,
he'd go down as the most efficient scorer I've ever seen play basketball.
mhm,
Um, will it help his legacy to win another championship? Of course.
mhm.
Um, I think another championship and another MVP. If he could play a full freaking season,
I know.
another MVP and another championship with a Finals MVP. I think we start talking that top 10 range.
I agree.
Um,
I agree.
we're talking three at that point. We were talking about three championships. Three Finals MVPs,
Mhm,
two regular season MVPs, and all that, et cetera, et cetera. You can add on to that.
mhm,
But I don't personally think he needs to win. He needs to win another one. I wouldn't say that because for my money, I've never seen a more gifted scorer, and I'm a Kobe guy.
mhm,
I've never seen a more gifted scorer than Kevin Durant at 7 feet tall with a 35-foot pull up jumper and he can
mhm.
shoot over top of anybody in the NBA.
Had a big one today. Yep.
Oh man, I was watching on my phone a little bit when it was
Yeah.
when I two free throws ended.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a great question. I don't, but two great questions. No, I don't think he needs to win one. But yes, it would help his legacy and winning another one plus MVP. We gotta start saying top 10. That's my opinion.
I definitely totally agree with if he is to win another one with all his accolades and like I said, the most efficient score we've ever seen. Definitely can move in that top 10. I'll push back just because with the needs to win another for two reasons. One is kind of using what you said about Jokic, not holding Jokic accountable to some of these guys who have won, kind of like KD. Because I say
Right.
like this, I look at KD as an all-time great, right?
Right.
He's not these guys. Some of these guys is just playing in the league. He's an all-time great, right? He's one of the top 75 best players of all time. So to me, if this was again LeBron, I still got people talking about LeBron misspells again his legacy effect. I'm like,
Man, they
so
hard, man, yo.
what you say?
They hard on that boy.
They hard on that man, yo. So that's why I said if it's LeBron, I am kind of comparing him to LeBron because if it's LeBron, they would say, oh, he had to win outside of Miami, right? Let's do it like that. Let's compare Miami and Golden State. KD won 2 when Golden State.
Right.
LeBron won 2 in Miami. LeBron had to win another one in Cleveland because he was from, and part of the reason because he's from there and left there. Now, I will say this about KD. I don't know who it was. Maybe it was Gary Dunning? Oh, yeah, Gary Dunning. Shout out to Dunning. He had a poster saying he would like to see KD go to OKC because he owed to them. No, he don't owe. He don't
I
owe
see you
OKC
comment on
anything.
it. I liked it. I don't know if I liked your comment or not, but I definitely read that because I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, he tripping on that. Like, not OKC, but I do think he needs to win one outside of playing with Steph Curry. Because I even seen some comments today on Facebook. People going back and forth about KD and he won with Steph. Can he win without Steph? I just feel like that narrative is going to be on him unless he wins it without him. And I would just like to see him win it without him, just to kind of shut people up and on that front that he was great in Golden State and that was a great team. And some people, I was hard on him at first too with joining the team, still didn't like it, but he was a Finals MVP as you said. So I would just like to see him win it without those guys because that would really, to me, push him up the ladder all time as well, in my opinion.
So I agree with you on it. But to me, to say, would I like to see that happen? Absolutely.
But I would the word need, he don't really need to.
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't say would need. Because, I mean, let's be honest. People talk all that stuff they want. He won with Golden State. Golden State don't beat Cleveland without Kevin Durant.
Thank you. Now that needs to be said. That needs to be said. Now that's a conversation. Now and shout out to Dre Collins because he actually said something similar to that because my boy shout out to Kyle Campbell. It was going back about he didn't win without Steph and what you call it said kind of that same thing. But you're right that people kind of always say, oh, they bust Cleveland. Man, listen, man, they needed Kevin Durant to beat Cleveland. I'm telling you, they were getting ready to win a couple in a row. Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love. So I totally agree. And Dre even said it too. If in the year before, if I know the what else we don't play that, but come on, if Kyrie or Kevin Love, if just one of them don't get hurt,
just one of them,
they're gonna win that one too.
Let's be honest.
So I do agree with that. They needed KD. They know that's why they were calling that man so early. They needed him. So I do agree with that. But I would definitely like to see him get enough. Plus, I like that Phoenix team. I mean, I like it. The Brooklyn thing. What you say?
I know Chris Paul, your boy.
Yeah, man. Chris Paul, my guy, man, and I always like D Book. I'm mad that freaking Miami drafted freaking Justice Winslow over Booker. I've always been mad about that. So I would like to see them, him win it there. So it's gonna be interesting, man. How it go. We'll probably have to have a playoff roundtable, when time come and have some fun with that.
I don't know though, Lance. Like you thinking back on that, when people give Kevin Durant a hard time for that, like let's not act like he was out there just as an extra,
right?
Like this man put up 2 all-time great performances in the finals,
right? Like he was just along for the journey.
He won both finals MVPs. It's not like he was just a guy out there,
right?
Yeah. But I would love to see him win another one, to cement that legacy. And to show these guys, because today it looked like he never missed a step.
Man, never missed a step, man.
Honestly, since he's been back, like he ain't missed a step.
Man, never missed a step, man. Like I'm telling you, man, that team, man, it's gonna be scary. And I think they got a few more other pieces than people realize too. Depth wise, I think they're a little better than people think. As well. So yeah, because you actually talked about the boy that's starting. What's the kid name? I think he's at Minnesota.
Ogie.
Yeah, him. He's got some good games.
Man, he's another one. He's a tough defender. They got the guy, the light skinned boy. I think he made 4 threes today.
Yeah, I looked him up today. He was a 2-way player and he signed. Yeah, he played for Baylor a couple years ago. Also played a little football, tight end. Yeah.
He's a scrappy defender type dude, man. Knocked down that 3. They have a real nice bench rotation there.
Terrence Ross, Damian Lee didn't even play.
Craig. You got Craig.
TJ Warren didn't even play today.
Yeah, I'm telling you. They got a nice little rotation of players.
Yeah, yeah.
And can we give Mikal Bridges some shout outs a little bit?
Man, bro, he balling in Brooklyn.
Man, this cat looked like a real deal player.
Bro, he balling, bro. He balling in Brooklyn. You got to give him a shot. I agree, man. I agree. He's balling. He's putting up some great numbers, man. I watched a couple games, but that comeback they had against Boston the other night, man. He got to his spot, bro. He rise up. Kind of KD-ish. He's not KD, but you know what I'm saying? That long,
Yeah,
lanky. You know what I'm saying?
hey, did you see before we get off here? Did you see they was like, "Well, who's your favorite player
Yeah.
growing up?"
He said KD.
Like Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I said, hey. Like he said, I would trade myself for KD. He said it. He know, man. Like
Oh man, that's an
KD's
all-time great player.
all time great, man. Fully polished game, man, and they complement each other well, man. So, but yeah, man, yeah. So we'll see the KD thing. I just wanted to throw out there, you know what I mean. But we'll see what happens. But MVP, like you said, y'all tell us, you know, when we share this, Giannis, Jokic, who you got, and why. But definitely good to
And let me
chop it
say this
up with
too, real
my
quick
boy.
before we go.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, I think Jokic is going to win just because it's a media-driven thing.
Mhm.
It's just my personal opinion. I think Giannis should be the MVP.
Right. I feel you. Yeah. Hey, I was just happy to hear you say that Giannis is the best player in the league because I do agree with that. That he is the best player in the league
Absolutely.
for sure. You know, so cool, man. And I know, like you said, man, we talked a little bit before about the Ja Morant, you know, and you know, Grizzlies suspend him 2 games. He just gotta realize that, you know, it's he's got a lot riding on him. And I see people hearing about people talking about the right to bear arms and this, that, and the third, and it's got nothing to do with that, man. Like, you know what I mean? He's a person that kids are looking up to. Like, yeah, he might be fine, with the gun in his hand and stuff like that, but you don't know what gonna have the next kid trying to do. Like, he's in the league. He don't need to be trying to be something he's not. And I've watched those docuseries he's had with all his
Thank you.
friends, got all these friends with him and all that. And yeah, Pops is there. One of the incidents happened with his mom calling him to come to the store and get into it with a employee. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, man. People got to read, man. It's a lot of different things going on. But you got any quick thoughts on Ja?
Yeah, man, I do. First of all, Ja Morant, listen, you're not a gangster. You're not a thug. You're a multi-million-dollar athlete. You grow up in a nice suburban environment. You didn't grow up in the struggle.
Right.
You're not a street dude. I don't understand where all this is coming from all of a
Right.
sudden.
All of
And
a
let's be
sudden,
honest.
yeah.
Why do you feel you need to be walking around with guns as a multi-millionaire when you have higher security? That's what they're there for, right? Stop hanging around these street dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You hang around with rappers and all this, bro. That's
Yep.
not. If that's what you want to do with your life, then go do that with your life. But you're gonna blow an opportunity that you'll never be able to get back.
Yep.
They canceled Kyrie Irving for giving an opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, because
You're running around
he
here.
just signed with Nike, right?
Yeah, he about to release the shoe, or it's already released, or something like that. You know, you run around here, you beating up minors, which again, I get that on the basketball
Yeah,
court.
I
Like
seen
we've all
that.
been there. That one I wasn't really tripping about. But when they're talking about you pulled a gun on them,
You're right. Yeah, I seen that
beat
part.
'em
Read
up,
that part. Yeah. Then
that's
the
strike
incident
one.
outside the Pacers thing with the
With the
gun,
beam,
with the bean. Yeah.
why would you? I don't want to hear he's young. He's not young.
Yeah.
23 years old is not a young
Nah,
man.
he been in
You're
the
a
league
young
long
man.
enough.
You understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I told somebody this last night. I was like, if this was the normal behavior of a 23-year-old in his situation, people talking about what they would do, but you're not in his situation.
Right.
We're regular Joes in the in the
Right.
grand scheme of things.
Exactly.
He's in the top 1%.
Mm-hmm.
So if the top 1% of 23-year-olds that are in the NBA were doing the dumb stuff that he was doing, then I could say, you know what? All right, I get it. I don't see many I'm doing this type of dumb stuff.
I don't. Same, bro. I don't.
So I
You
don't want
never
to
see
hear that excuse.
you never see Giannis, KD, LeBron. You know, like even if they have one, they ain't gonna show you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see all the security and stuff they got. And, you can have all you want, but you want, IG live, like for what?
You're the top 1% of 1%. You're in the NBA and you're a top 10 to 15 player in the NBA. I don't see many other top 15, 20, 30, 40 players in the NBA doing the stuff that you're doing, bro.
Me either.
So I'm not giving you that excuse. You have to move accordingly.
Yeah, me
And
either.
it comes a point of accountability. And I like the apology, even though I know it was crazy.
Yeah.
And did you see that per the CBA, they have the potential to suspend him for up to 50 games?
Oh, I did not see that. Is that
Yeah,
because of the Gilbert Arenas thing? Probably.
I didn't get the whole information, but I read like the first couple of
Mm.
paragraphs, and it was like the NBA is going to review if they're going to hold him up to this standard or not. They haven't
Mm.
said they're going to do it yet, but they have the ability to.
Yeah, the ability to. Yeah, I'm glad he came out with that statement quick because like Johnny King, he went from I'm good out west and now not only is he not good out west, but he got a lot going on off the court too, man.
Your boy Brooks got suspended, then old
Yeah,
boy
he
tore his ACL.
suspended. What you call got lost to center.
Bryant,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But yeah, I had to get your thoughts on that, man. But yeah, man, this is great as always, man. We'll definitely chop it up and talk soon, man, and make sure we get that round table popping.
sound like a plan, my brother.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, man. Real Sports Fan Podcast. We out of here. Peace.